Hey, Megan.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
For those who are
Nailed
only
it.
listening, I gave Megan the finger.
It felt great.
Megan, it's not real.
Speaking of fingers, my nails aren't done. I need to get my nails done.
Yeah.
And I just want to say something really quick. I got the most sensational compliment of my life on the Patreon. Somebody said, I have very elegant hands,
Oh.
which I feel like I've been waiting my whole life for someone to notice. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like they are very elegant,
Oh.
but my natural nails don't grow very long, so I get fakies, which extends the nail and makes them look double elegant.
Mm.
And now I feel like a trash man with no nails. You know what I mean? Grosso stumpy fingo. That's what they call me.
I think that you're still elegant, Megan.
Thank you. Hey, what's the name of this show?
Text me back. Text me back.
Text me back. Text me back at once.
Welcome to Text Me Back, a parasocial journey into the minds of two deranged elder millennials who just got their cones off after a whole month, and now they can chew on their foot as much as they want.
Now I can rip out my eyeball sutures.
Finally.
What a great idea. What should we talk about today? I have some thoughts. Do they match yours?
I think so. And you know
Okay.
why? You know why I think that?
Why?
It's because we wrote it down in advance on the doc.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we do have a blockbuster show for you today.
Mm-hmm.
We got some really important stuff to discuss. And we've got tidings, we've got housekeeping, we've got BBW business, and we've got some more hot frickin' cuts from the Lindy and Meagan mega mix tape. The best songs of all time, and also the best audio dramas of all time.
That's right. I like the mystery.
Yeah, I want to make a little mystery,
Okay.
but I forgot that it's not all songs. But I
It's-
wanted
it's
so
not all songs.
what I'm trying to do is like a classic mislead where I make them think that we're going to be talking about something like important and with integrity, but then what it actually is classic Lindy and Meagan stupid stuff.
Gotcha.
But you're not going to find out what that is for another 20 minutes.
So, I mean, that's a conservative estimate for how long this intro segment's going to take, but yeah. We're always like, oh, this segment will be really short, and it'll be 45 minutes long.
Ooh.
And then I'll be like, that could be the whole show. And then you'll be like, no, Megan, we need to record 50 more minutes.
Megan, okay, you know what? Gloves are coming off because every single week, okay, we used to do 3 segments per episode plus a little intro. And then at some point we were like, hey, it kind of seems like all our segments are really long. We could probably do 2 segments per episode and a little intro. And then the little intro sort of fell away. The little intro became its own segment. So then we would do like an intro segment, like such as tidings, and then we would do a segment. And then this week, Megan and I are planning the episode. And Megan goes, we come up with one idea. And Megan goes, yeah, that could probably be the episode. And I had to be like, Megan, Megan, you know what comes after, oh, one segment could be the episode, is, oh, we can have 0 segments and not make an episode, and then no more podcast.
I mean,
Megan, and then
a lot of work.
You know what happens then, Megan?
What?
Then all you have is day job consulting.
Oh, I forgot about her.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to encourage me to get off my ass and work, because nobody wants to work these days, you better subscribe to our freaking Patreon, bro. If you want more segments, more Patreon, please. Patreon.com/textmebackpod, which brings us to our first segment, being better businesswomen. I am now going to tell you all the places you can find our podcast. Write this down or copy paste it from the AI show notes the AI transcript that Apple Podcast makes. Or don't. That's illegal. Robots are bad.
Did you know that you can't? God, I got sucked into a terrible, terrible Instagram hole this morning. Did you know that, like, I saw this meme that was like, every time you Google something and then Google's stupid AI function is like,
I hate it,
gives you the wrong answer, that it burns down an entire rainforest to generate And you can't
Great.
turn it off. Did you know you can't turn off that AI thing?
Thank you. Yeah, that's true for Instagram too. Where like if you just try to use the normal search function, it'll be like, "Do you want to know more about pasta?" No,
No.
dude. What?
Dude,
It's like, pasta originated in Italy. Okay. I was looking for the frickin' Smitten Kitchen Instagram page. What are you telling me this for?
Dude,
Shut up.
everything's crumbling. I'm losing my mind. No, I don't see anyone talking about this, but I can no longer link to our Patreon on our Facebook. It says that I'm violating the terms of service, and then it gives me a block. Like it gives me what's it called? It like penalizes me, and it says I can't post for a
Oh, you
week.
get like a strike?
Yeah, and it's like,
Oh my God.
okay, so we're really getting to the point where actually there is like no added value in anything. Like everything's just ads, and there's no way to use anything in the, like, you know what I mean? Like, when I was in my 20s and I worked at a small local newspaper, we would have like a Christmas party. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that doesn't exist anymore.
No.
It's like everything, all the nice stuff that used to make it seem like participating in capitalism was sort of worth it.
Yeah.
All of that is gone.
I gotta be honest with you, I don't know how much longer this can continue.
I know.
It's just the only currency is my personal data. You already have all of it. What more do you need? Like, I literally had to permanently freeze my credit because my health insurance company let some hackers steal my social security number. So like, and you have my face scanned, you have my fingerprints. The only thing I haven't done is sent my DNA to a website, but everybody's doing that too.
I did it.
What more do you want from me?
Very generous. I sent you my DNA. I held out for years. I was like, that's creepy. I'm not paying a corporation for the privilege of giving them my genetic code. And then at a certain point, I became dead inside.
Yeah.
And I was like, who fucking cares?
Whatever.
Send me the report.
The cops can take it too?
I don't care.
Okay.
I'm
fine.
tired. I was just like, sure, tell me that I'm 1% African or whatever. That'll be by the way, I'm not. I am 100% Northern European, not even 1% Southern European.
Oh wow. You were right up there.
Just big white potato head.
As close to the Arctic Circle as you could get.
Yeah.
We do have a Facebook page. Which we have not mentioned until this actual instant on the show. Well,
okay,
or don't. I mean, who wants to be on there? They're fucking demons, bro.
I don't know how to articulate this, but it's like all of the services that everything used to provide that made you think, oh, I'm getting something out of this.
Yes. They've
all been stripped away. To the point where, what am I doing?
What is this for? Like, what? You don't pay anybody. The air smells like dookie.
And like,
all
like food prices are so high that like all restaurants are bad now.
Yeah.
Because like they have to just use trash.
Every night out is $1 million and tastes bad. Why is it like that?
So that one guy can make money.
Oh, and by the way, this thing happens in DC now. And I don't know if this is the case in Seattle or Washington State, but in the city, we passed a referendum that raised the tip minimum wage to $15.
Yeah.
And so now restaurants make a big show out of telling you that they've added a surcharge to your bill, but the way they write it makes you think that the surcharge is the tip. And it is fucking not. It is not the tip. And it's like, you know what? You don't need to tell me this. You don't need to tell me you added an 18% surcharge. Just add 18% to the price of whatever fucking thing you're selling me. I will pay an extra 18% for the fucking goddamn French fries. I remember you and I went out to a restaurant and I had to ask. I was like, does this 18% go to you? She's like, no, it doesn't. So it's like, you got to add 20% onto that. And the food's not even that good. Everybody's very nice, but it's like, what is this about? Anyway, so we're businesswomen now.
Yeah.
And here's the places you can find us. Facebook, I guess. I don't even know what the name is.
Okay,
but just search us up on Facebook. Or don't.
Okay.
Don't go there.
I put my all into the Facebook at the beginning.
Yeah.
I spent money on ad buys.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Nothing. No action
Well,
at all.
they got mad at you. Like they didn't pass muster the first 3 or 4.
And then I eventually gave up. There was something
They're like,
wrong.
oh, I remember one was we were joking about being on Adderall, and they were like,
Oh yeah.
no, violation. I was like,
Okay.
but I am.
I need it. It's prescribed by my doctor. So then it's so hard to tell on Facebook, especially if you're just screaming into a void, because it's like because the thing about Facebook is Facebook is such a jealous lover. Like if
Yeah.
you say a word, and I mean same goes for Instagram because it's same company.
Mhm.
If you say one word that indicates that you might be sending people somewhere else,
Don't you dare. Don't
then
you
they
dare.
then no one
That's
sees
why
it.
that's why on Instagram in the captions I have to be full video at wink. You know where. It's the video website that you know and love. YouTube.com.
I'm tired of this. I don't want to do this.
I don't want to do this either. Everything is so stupid. And they don't like the kids are finding ways around that because the algorithm doesn't like it if you say suicide, or the algorithm doesn't like it when you say sexual assault. So it's like all of the words are dumb. It's like everyone sounds like a dopey idiot about like the most serious shit. It's like, oh, suicide, crime, oh, essay, R word. It's like,
small bean unalive.
unalive herself. Oh, it's like, oh, damn. Like, what is hell? Anyway, here's the places you can find the podcast.
Yeah. 2 BBWs.
2 BBWs doing business. Facebook, if you're into that sort of thing. Just search it up because nobody knows how to find it.
I just so you know, I look at it. You can, if you write a comment, I'll see it and I'll probably respond.
If you want to find me on Facebook, join my local Buy Nothing group. That's the only place I'm active. We could also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Text Me Back Pod. We are on YouTube, the video website. Wink, wink. At Text Lindy and Meagan Back. We have an email, deartextmeback@gmail.com. We have a freaking phone number, dude, that you can call or text 703-829-0003. That's pod tax. Oof, the O's are zeros. And we have a Patreon. That's the most important one. Go ahead and support us. Why don't you?
Yeah.
Patreon.com/textmebackpod.
Lest you think that we're just asking you to support us. I want you to know that when there's a podcast that I love, I pay for them.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
There's only there's only one podcast that I love, which is Case File.
You give that Case File man your money.
I do. I'm a Case File premium subscriber, and I get all the goodies. I just listened to 2 crazy episodes yesterday.
Oh, I'm way behind.
Well, you might not have access to them if you're not a premium subscriber. So I put my money where my mouth is, I'm just saying, and it makes me feel good.
The Patreon has a lot of special goodies, by the way.
Yeah.
Outtakes, special clips, our actual texts that we text each other every week. Lindy loves that function. You can join the freaking Discord where we're chit-chatting about all manner of things. We're doing our Shrill rewatch, folks. Too Shrill, Too Furious, Portland Drift. The first episode came out last Sunday.
I think Too Shrill, Too Furious, Portland Drift is going to be a big moneymaker for us. That's going to really put us on the map.
That's right.
If only we knew how to do BBW marketing.
I know. Something to think about. Maybe we could go to the BBW website. I think it's called OnlyFans? I think that's what the Better Business Bureau said it was called.
Yeah.
So that's where you can find us. We're businesswomen doing business. And now we're going to tell you our tidings. Glad tidings, glad tidings, glad tidings, glad tidings, glad tidings, glad tidings. What are your tidings, Lindy?
I have so many friggin' tidings, Megs. Tiding 1. Get ready to celebrate. It's a big day. Somebody has begun his cone wean.
Oh, and it's Lindy.
No, it's Barry.
It's Barry. Yay.
Barry doesn't he doesn't have the cone fully off yet, but we can take it off for periods of time as long as we're supervising him and not letting him rub his eye.
Oh, good for him.
And so it is so cute. It's like a spiritual experience for him when you take it off. He's like, but this morning was the first time we got to do it because his appointment was yesterday. Took the cone off and he's just like, what is this? What is this life? What is this freedom? And like,
I want to be where the people are.
It's so cute. He just like put his head in between Aham's knees for like an hour and like let Aham scratch his neck. It was so
sweetos.
cute. And so that's been very fun. Then to record the podcast, I had to put the cone back on and come up here.
Yeah.
Sorry, bud. But that was a huge deal.
Good for him. I'm
I
so
know.
happy for him. This has been so torturous.
Oh my God.
For all involved.
Such a fucking nightmare, dude. But my more important tiding is that I tried to make ice cream.
Ooh.
And I beefed it.
This is a travesty. When we were talking about this before,
yeah,
I revealed to you that I'm actually an exceptional ice cream maker, which you did not know. And so I would love to hear all the ways in which you beefed it.
Yeah. Okay, let me tell you.
One, so I can be judgmental. No, just kidding. No, I've had many ice cream mistakes myself.
No, you can. It's very hot.
Yeah.
For example, right now, I'm up in my attic where I record the podcast. And I don't know if you can tell that I'm quite dewy, quite damp. I can't have the fan on because of the recording. I'm going to become increasingly dewy. As
big time pig stuff.
Yeah. We got some pig leakage coming out of the face. And anyway.
By the way, stop telling me that pigs don't sweat.
Yeah, stop. Don't let us. We don't need that. We don't need it.
It's a spiritual thing, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on.
Don't send us animal facts that conflict
that are
with
at
our
odds
beliefs.
exactly.
With what we want to believe.
I'm not interested.
So it's really hot, and also I had all this milk that I wanted to use, and also we had guests, and so I was like, and I had made a cake. So okay, I bought like 5 pounds of cherries, and so I was like, I got to do something with these cherries so that, because we probably can't eat all of them. So I made a cherry coffee cake, which was incredible. And then I was like, what would be really good with this is a scoop of vanilla ice cream. And, we live an hour from the store. So I was like, but we have an ice cream maker and we had a bunch of milk. And I was like, I think I could make ice cream to go with this. It's actually like really easy to make ice cream if you have an ice cream maker.
Yeah.
So we didn't have cream, but we had sweetened condensed milk. So I sort of cobbled together, and I was really proud of myself because it worked really well. I was like, I cobbled together this concoction that was milk, sweetened condensed milk, salt, vanilla, and then I shouldn't have done this, but I threw a little, like maybe a 1/4 cup of brown sugar in there. The sweetened condensed milk is already so sweet. I shouldn't have done that. So then and then we had some freaking local eggs from our neighbor's chicken. We had 5 left. I was doing a little bit of a fridge clear out. So I separated all the 5 eggs. You don't need 5 yolks, but I was like, sure, let's make it extra yolky.
You do. Some of the recipes ask for 6.
What's the harm?
What's going to happen? Nothing.
The more yolks, the better. So I'm heating up my mixture. I'm got my ladle. I'm ready to temper the eggs. I'm like, I'm fucking killing it. And then I'm like, I should taste my base. So I taste it, super sweet.
Ooh.
Because the sweetened condensed milk is so sweet, and then I added sugar. So I was like, ugh, okay, this is so sweet. And I know also, when you freeze something, it's actually good to have your ice cream the base taste more intense than you want it to taste, because when it's frozen, you don't taste it as intensely because you're. So part of me was like, I think it's fine, and then part of me was like, well, I'm kind of the only person in the household who is like a real sugar head, and I was like, what if everyone else hates it, and then I am like, in retrospect, that would be great for me, but okay, so when I told you the story before, your initial response, your assumption was that I messed up tempering my eggs.
Which is offensive, and I do apologize.
No, it's fine. I don't consider myself an ice cream professional like you. I really am an amateur, but no, that's not what I messed up. It's far more fucking stupid. I am not I'm not proud. I'm happy to acknowledge my mistakes, and I don't generally get, you know, everyone makes mistakes. Like, it doesn't usually bother me, but when I make a mistake that I know uh, not to make, a simple mistake that, like, an unforced error that is like knowledge that I deeply hold inside me,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
for some reason the brain just is gone, which is happening more and more, by the way. And I don't know if it's menopause or long COVID or what, but like the other day I forgot the expiration date on my debit card, and I'm a shopaholic and I use it all the time. And I was like, and then it was just gone, and it felt like I forgot my mother's name. Like, I was like, where is it? What? So the fact that this fact fled my brain for this moment long enough for me to ruin my ice cream. So here's what I did. I thought, I was looking in the fridge and I'm like, what can I do to like make this less sweet? What can I add? And we had this like beautiful, full fat, smooth, creamy sour cream. And I was like, I'll just put 1 scoop of this in. Meagan, I know how you make sour cream. You know how you make sour cream? You add some sour cream to some cream, and then it curdles it.
Then who made the very first sour cream?
Such a good question. So I drop just a tablespoon of sour cream in here. The whole thing seizes up. The milk proteins, it's just all curdled.
Devastating.
I was so mad. It was devastating. And then
I hate it when you basically do like the cooking version of why am I in this room? You know what I mean? It's like, oh no, bring a straw.
And it's like, if I had done the eggs first, like there's a point where you can add sour cream.
Yeah.
But so just out of curiosity, I whisked it and kind of got it so it looked smooth, even though I knew the texture was fucked. And then I did temper the eggs, and I went through the whole process. I made the ice cream. It looked beautiful. It was so smooth and creamy looking in the ice cream maker, but then you put it in your mouth and it's just like fucked. And so there's a epilogue to this story that you don't know about.
Oh, okay.
I don't like waste. I was so mad that I had all this ice cream base. Well, because I froze the ice cream and then I just let it melt. I was like, so I had all this ice cream base, and I was like, what could I do with this? And I was like, I wonder if it could be like the liquid in a pancake batter or something. So I do a little Googling. I find that it's something called melted ice cream cake, which is just you melt some ice cream, which I had, and then you mix it with a box of cake mix, which I had, and then you bake it. And look at this guy.
Oh, that looks delicious. Looks like a little brownie.
I know. And I also had, I threw in the 5 egg whites and then I just baked it up and it tastes like a cake.
Perfect. I love that.
It's not like, don't do it. Like,
yeah.
It's not, don't go out of your
sort of hack. It just happened to work out this way.
It made enough of a cake that like, you can see the crumb. It's like, it's nice.
Yep. No, it looks really good.
So anyway,
like a perfect cake. Great.
I feel better.
That's a good tiding. I love making ice cream for the following reasons. One is it's shockingly easy to do, and yet nobody knows that. So when you bring it to a party, everyone's like, "Oh, you made this?
Yeah.
What?" And you just feel like the most royal queen from heaven when you bring ice cream to a party. And so I always bring it to Friendsgiving. I like to make a classic vanilla bean and one other one. And when vanilla prices were through the roof, let me tell you, it was a really challenging time for me. Like sometimes a single vanilla bean was going for $25. Yeah. That's the cost of 18 quarts of store-bought vanilla ice cream. Yeah. What did I do, you ask? I guess we'll never know because I don't steal from grocery stores. You know what I mean? Did you have a question?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a question. What are some of your favorite non-vanilla flavors that you've made?
Okay, this is such a good question. First of all, here's why I got into ice cream making. My friend Melissa gave me an ice cream maker. I guess gave us an ice cream maker for our wedding, but Adam has never used it in the 15-ish years that we've been married. And this book called The Perfect Scoop. If you are interested in getting into the ice cream making game, get you a copy of The Perfect Scoop. I don't remember the guy's name who wrote it, but he's got recipes. He's got recipes in there for all kinds of ice cream, egg-based, not egg-based. He's got some vegan recipes in there, and he has recipes for how to make your own waffle cones and shit like that.
Damn.
It's great. So I was like, maybe I'll get into the ice cream making game. You know, this could be fun. So I always make a vanilla bean. That one's like my go-to, and it's pretty easy. But one of my favorites I've ever made, and this is actually not in the Perfect Scoop. I found this on a different website. I think I might have gotten it from Bon Appetit. But it was a brown sugar bourbon, which I thought would be perfect for Thanksgiving, and it was. And to your point, that you always want your base to be like stronger because the flavor will kind of dissipate a little bit after it's frozen. If you are using alcohol in your ice cream, don't be afraid to kind of dose it. It does affect the freezing of the ice cream, so don't go too crazy. But the flavor of the bourbon will dissipate a little bit after it's frozen. So just jack up the flavor a little bit if you must. It's great. So that's like one of my favorite ones ever. I've been thinking about getting into the stracciatella game, where as it's turning, you throw the chocolate in there. So I'm thinking about doing that next.
Yeah.
But I've made a bunch of sorbets. Sorbets are very, very easy. There's no custard involved at all. It's just smashing up a fruit. It's great.
Yeah. My mother-in-law is diabetic, and she has started taking it really seriously the last few years, and it's really cute because she's just really excited about like trying new recipes and whatever. Yeah. And she's also a real kook, and she's always just saying a non sequitur. Like she never gives you the context for what she's talking about. And a few months ago she called Aham and she was like, Aham, Jackie got me Ninja Creamy. And we were like, what? And she was like, you have to get Ninja Creamy. And he was like, what? And she was like, Ninja Creamy. I got Ninja Creamy. And he was like,
girl,
what? And she was like, Ninja Creamy is changing my life. And we were like, what's Ninja Creamy?
What are those words together? What do they mean?
Stop saying Ninja Creamy. Stop. Answer the question. Oh, God. And then eventually she is like, finally, it's like, it's an ice cream maker, basically. She's like, you can put, but I think what she said was, you can put in anything and ice cream comes out. That's not true.
Anything.
But it's so cute. She loves her Ninja Creamy, and she's always making a new concoction, a new low carb concoction. I know. That. So anyway, apparently the Ninja Creamy is, I don't think it's like a traditional ice cream maker, like what a professional one like you and I have. I think it makes a little ramekin. But anyway, love that. So anyway, I don't remember why I started talking about Ninja Creamy, but
because making ice cream is a gas, and it's way easier than you think. And I will just say this: the reason that I assumed rudely that your mistake was custard related is because that was my top mistake when I was first making ice cream, because I had never made it before. So I was like, how thick does this custard need to be? So a lot of times my base was too thin.
Ooh, interesting.
And then one time, when they say watch that shit, they mean watch that shit. Don't walk away from your custard. You want to know why? You get scrambled eggs, baby. Ask me how I know.
Yeah.
Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. Well, congrats on the cake.
Thanks.
My original tiding was going to be that Adam and I did a DIY home project where we made our kitchen look more beautiful, but I already posted about it on Instagram because I was desperate for the accolades and I couldn't wait for this.
It does look great. It looks great.
Vision realized. It was so sensational. However, I have a new one. I just thought of it this morning as I was watching the Tour de France. Now and again, I get hyperfixated on the most boring sport.
What?
I get hyperfixated on the most boring.
Are we doing the podcast? Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. I had to sit here and listen to you read in full the Pete's Dragon Wikipedia. And you can't listen to me talk about the Tour de France for 5 minutes.
It's just they ride a bike. I don't get it.
Oh my God.
Okay, no. Listen, I know. Okay. How about I tell you what I know about the Tour de France? Here's what I know. I know they take all their blood out and they replace it with colder blood.
They don't do that anymore.
Okay, but I do know that you're on a team And so it's
Yes.
all about like who's in what position
Yes.
in the little
Exactly.
bunch,
Mhm.
and then it affects like the airflow, and then like maybe someone from the back pedal real hard and become the guy in the front.
Sometimes
And,
you'll have to watch.
and if you does one guy win or does the team win?
Both.
Oh,
Yeah, so here's okay, so my husband has for a long time in the past, he doesn't anymore, was like a competitive cyclist. He raced on a team sponsored by Recycled Cycles, a bike shop in Seattle that I'm pretty sure still exists.
yeah.
And
One of my earliest impressions of Adam is I was like, I don't. This was not a negative judgment. I just remember being
yeah,
like, "Oh, he's like the kind of guy that wears the little hat with
the
the
tiny hat.
short bill."
Yeah,
Yeah,
he had a bunch of those.
yeah. And I think at the time I didn't realize that was a bicycle hat.
I used to have him saved in my phone as Tiny Hat.
You should change it back.
Maybe I will. So, and he's like obsessed with, and I would like go to his races, but I was like, otherwise, this is very boring and I don't really care about this.
Yeah,
And he would watch the tour every summer. It's every July in France, blah, 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 et cetera, et
we
cetera.
should go.
I would love to.
I've come all the way around now, and
I know.
now I'm a
So,
super fan.
well, here's what I recommend doing. Well, so first of all, quickly, what you were describing is called blood doping, which is this thing they used to do back. They used to just do regular doping with drugs, and then it became very easy to detect actual drugs in people's systems. So they started doing this thing where they would save their blood when it was more oxygenated, like when they were less tired, and then infuse themselves with their own blood, with their baby blood when they were old and tired, and that would like rejuvenate them. But there's ways now to determine whether or not somebody has blood doped, so they don't do that anymore either.
Question.
And also sometimes it was other people's blood. It wasn't always their own blood.
Sometimes it was children's blood, or maybe dog blood.
Sometimes
from like a greyhound, like a really fast dog. Question. Is it only illegal to do that in the Tour de France, or could you take all your blood out and replace it with colder blood for if you were, say, a blogger / podcaster who wanted
I thought you were going to ask for other bike races, so I like this. And I was like, no, there's the United States blogging agency has not said that you can't dope your own blood while typing.
To enhance my performance a little bit.
Yeah, no, for sure. So anyways, I never really gave it that much of a shit about the Tour de France. I always thought it was really boring. Then last year or 2 years ago, Netflix started airing this documentary series called Unchained. This one's called Unchained. It's about like how the race was won the 2 years that they've done it. And so cycling is like a team sport and an individual sport. I always just thought it was like, oh, one guy just wins. But there's this whole like narrative and drama about who on the team does what. Some guys are just what they call domestiques. They're not intended to win stages, really. They're not intended to... You can't just join a team and be like, I'm going to try to win the Tour de France. Like, no, there's always one guy on the team where they're like, help that guy win. And so the domestiques like will help push the guy or pull him closer to the front of the pack or whatever it is. And then there's guys who are really good sprinters and they're allowed to win stages. Yeah. My favorite sprinter is a guy named Wout van Aert. He's Belgian. I'm obsessed with him. He had to drop out of the Tour last year because his wife had a baby and then they named the baby Jerome. It's so great. So I'm obsessed with him. And last year, this guy named Jonas Vingegaard won. He's Danish, so not as good as Norwegian, but I would never bow to a Dane, as you know. So anyways, so then I got all wrapped up in this Tour de France drama and narrative. There's this other guy who I hate named Jasper Philipsen. They call him Jasper the Disaster. He's a very dangerous rider. When he's out there, he's dangerous. That's why I hate him.
I'm surprised you don't like that.
No, he's always like causing near-death crashes. Oh. And so also, these guys go really fast. They go like 40, 50 miles an hour sometimes. So if you crash, you could literally die.
Do people die?
Yeah. A guy died at the Tour de Suisse earlier this year. It was crazy.
Oh, that's so sad.
It was super crazy. So you have to be careful out there, but you also have to go fast. Anyways, now I can't get enough. Now I'm obsessed with French cycling, I guess.
Oh my God. Adam must be so excited. He's waited so long.
I know. 15 years of our marriage didn't touch the stuff. Now I'm hooked, and he's like, "Did you see what Tour just did? It's a victory for all of France." And I'm like, "I actually do care about that now." Yeah. So that's my tiding. If you want to get into cycling, Tour de France is on Peacock as a streamer. And here's what you need to know. We love Jonas. We hate Jasper Philipsen. We love Wout van Aert, but he's not doing great. But what we're really into is a guy named Biniam Girmay, who was the first Black man to ever win a stage at the Tour de France. And he is currently in the green jersey, which means he's currently the best sprinter. And if he wins the green jersey, he'll be the first Black person to ever win the green jersey at the Tour de France, which is so psychotic and insane.
I'm scared to ask this, but what year did he win? Did he become the first Black person to win a stage at the Tour de France?
Girl, what year do you think?
2023?
It was
2024.
Yeah, it was like literally 2 weeks or like 2 days ago.
Meagan, that's really bad.
I'm so sorry, but it just happened like 7 days ago. It's not good.
Oh no, Meagan.
So we love Bini Girmay. He's from Eritrea and he rocks, and we are rooting for him very much because his competition is Jasper the Disaster, and we don't want anything good to happen to him. Another favorite is a guy named Tadej Pogacar, but he lives in Morocco, so he doesn't have to pay his taxes.
Oh.
So we don't really like him that much either.
Wait, if I move to Morocco, do I not have to pay my taxes?
Well, I guess they have a special program where if you're really high profile and they like the cut of your jib, they'll ask you to come there. Ask you to go live there.
They haven't asked me.
So I don't know. Maybe they haven't read your book.
I guess
but
not.
Maybe they
Oh,
won't.
wait, I have one more mini tiding. Speaking of my book, I sent this to you on Instagram.
Yes, this is so important. Thank you for bringing this up. Yes, go ahead.
I got a widow shout out on Instagram from Governor of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer.
Also known as Big Gretch.
She's coming out with her own memoir. And so she did a little post about, like, I guess other books that she likes. And mine was in there, and she held it up and she made a cute little face, and then she made a heart with her hands to show that she loved my book. And the thing is that I love her. And
we love Big Gretch. This woman is a queen. So Michigan has a Democratic trifecta. So their legislature and governor, all Dems. Big Gretch raised a minimum wage, got rid of right to work, restored abortion rights in Michigan. She's all bing, bang, bong, bing, bang, bong. We love Big Gretch on this podcast.
Do you think she would come on the podcast? I bet she would.
Big Gretch, if you're listening, or Big Gretch's publishing company, if you're listening, call me.
Okay, look, I'll try to get her. I'll respond to her post and be like, hey, come on my podcast.
Come on my podcast.
Maybe she will. I mean, okay, can I tell you one thing that I like about her? This is so superficial and unrelated to anything important, but she looks like that actress who hold on.
It comes down to she's so pretty.
She's so pretty.
I love her.
But she looks like this actress that I love. She looks like the actress Michelle Forbes, who is on, you know this lady?
Oh yeah.
She's on so many of my favorite series.
Yeah.
She's in a very important role in Star Trek The Next Generation. She is on Battlestar Galactica, very important role. She is in a great season of True Blood. I feel like
yes.
Before I stopped watching, actually, I think in the season after that, I was like, okay, guys, this is getting off the rails. But that was a great season.
It got so crazy.
I know. But she's so pretty. I love her. And she's very I just love her. I don't know. I don't have anything to say.
Big Gretch, open invitation.
So in my head, Big Gretch was also, in addition to being an incredible leader, and she also foiled the killer. Remember?
Yes.
Famously.
Yes.
Which is...
the Trumpies tried to snatch Big Gretch, and she said, clonk one time for the killer.
She said, no. And so she foiled the killer. She protected Michigan with her frickin' she
has a lot of really cool leather jackets that she uses to protect Michigan with.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And in my head, she was Ensign Rowe on Star Trek The Next Generation and Admiral whatever the fuck on Battlestar Galactica and the crazy decadent Bacchanalia lady on True Blood. And she was the mom on Murder Show, and she was really good. She cried a lot. So that's in my head. Gretch has it all. Also, they're talking, and we're not going to get into this on this show because we're trying to survive in our brains, but they're talking about Gretch as one of the possible Biden replacements.
I know.
And I'm just saying, first of all, I don't want Michigan to lose Gretch, but if the stars aligned, somehow Gretch became the new prez, do you think heart indicates that maybe I would be in the running for vice prez?
I think so. Yeah.
Because I think I can make some positive changes.
I think so. I think you would. I don't think they'd have any problems vetting you and all of the things that you said and done. It should be an easy choice. You know?
I haven't done anything bad. I've paid for all my vanilla beans, Meagan.
Well, prove I haven't. You can't.
All right, we're going to take a little break, and when we come back, our other segment, Meagan, because we're doing
a surprise. You'll never know about it. Whoa. All right, here we are. Segment 2, our mystery segment, full of mystery and intrigue.
It's our mystery segment. So we've started having ads on the show, which is hugely exciting. We started doing host read ads, and we were looking for some inspiration.
Yeah.
So
we were like, how do you do this?
Yeah.
Are there rules? You know? But fortunately, we had an expert in the family because your dad was an ads man.
Yes. I'm actually descended from several generations of Don Drapers. And so I'm descended from ad royalty, and my dad was kind of a one-stop shop commercial like king. So especially in the 70s, 60s and 70s in Seattle, and 80s. Although in the 80s we moved to LA because he got a job at an ad agency down there, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, so when we were talking about how to make ads, I was like, well, let me talk to Ingrid West, because I think we have some recordings of Paul West's greatest hits.
Let's fire up the archives, we said.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I didn't locate, although I know we have it somewhere, a hugely influential 90s jingle that there are two that I really remember hearing on the radio a lot in the 90s in Seattle. One was for Bob Byers Volvo.
That one's my favorite.
Bob Byers Ravenna Volvo. Do you want to sing it, Meagan?
Bob Byers Volvo, your traveling companion for life.
See, that's good. That's like, Meagan, I think you have a career coming up.
I'm an ads man?
Yes.
I just think your dad's voice is so good, and it's just like, I do want to fucking buy a Volvo.
I know. And then the other one that people might actually remember. I mean, people, if you were listening to a lot of the radio in Seattle in the 90s, you probably remember that. But then also in the 90s, he made the commercial and the jingle for, I guess like Seattle Public Utilities or whatever, whoever does the fucking recycling. And it was a commercial to get people to recycle. And the song went like this. Well, first he would play a little riff on the piano, and then it went, recycling, it's easy to do. So
it is.
Pop off in comments if you remember Bob Byers Ravenna Volvo, your traveling companion for life, or recycling, it's easy to do. Also, allegedly, and I haven't verified this, but I think my mom said that before it became Chase, when it was Washington Mutual, I think my dad wrote their tagline, which was a friend of the family, which is a really good slogan for a bank.
Almost makes you want to have fun at the bank.
I know. So I texted my mom this morning and I was like, do you have any recordings of some of Dad's commercials? And she was like, well, I have a CD and she goes, but it works on my Bose. I was like, okay. Which was just cute. And then I was like, can you play it on your Bose? And then can you hold up your phone? And then I taught her about voice memos. Yeah. And I had her make a voice memo of it and send it to me. And boy, did it exceed my expectations.
That's really good.
So I don't know that we should play the whole thing because it's like 3 minutes long or something. But here's a little bit of it.
Okay.
Old Calais is cruising the night in the city light. High heel shoes and faded blues. It's making the cut so smooth. That's what Calais is.
What it is.
You're scaling a lead That's what it is. When you buy the best mileage car in America between now and October 31st, Volkswagen will send you a check for $875. If you have the skill, dedication, and desire to take your place with the leader in advanced technology, consider the following opportunities.
Hi, I'm here for the waitress job.
Have a seat, Ms.
Dumpy.
Now, Miss Dunphy, I just need to ask you a few questions.
Shoot.
Now, let's say that I'm a customer.
Good morning. Welcome to Seasons.
Good, you're catching on.
What can I get you this
I'll
morning?
have the 3-cheese omelet with wheat toast, coffee, and a bottle of ketchup.
That's the 3-cheese omelet, wheat toast, coffee, and the ketchup's over there by the door.
What?
Sure, I saw it when I came in.
You'd make the customer get ketchup?
I only got 2 hands.
Thank you for coming in.
Said the wrong thing, huh?
Door's right there by the ketchup.
Gee, you guys are fussy.
Don't call us, we'll call
you, yeah.
That's right, it's the 5th annual Oyster and Microbrewery Festival on now at Seattle's own Brooklyn. With 28 kinds of oysters and microbrews, happy hour all night on Tuesday, oyster slurping contests on Wednesday, and live jazz by me every Thursday. So roll down to the Brooklyn, grab a cool microbrew, and suck down a dozen hammer-hammers. You'll have a macro good time. Now's the time to roll a macro barrel, because the oysters are here. The Brooklyn, 2nd and University downtown for the freshest ideas in Northwest cuisine. That's right.
Megan, did you know? Were you prepared for all the voices? Did you know about all the voices?
I was like, I love the rapport he has with the lady. He's trying to help do business, I guess.
Yeah, I couldn't
good.
tell what a commercial, that was a commercial for.
Me neither, but I loved it.
I
felt like they had great chemistry.
Yeah.
And then I love the one for the Brooklyn, because my brother actually used to work for work at the Brooklyn. Was one of his first bartending jobs, I think. And I never knew that your dad played there. Obviously, my brother and your dad did not overlap, but it was just like a cute little piece of cosmic convergence that I did not know we shared. So it was very cute.
I didn't know that either. I didn't know my dad played the piano at the Brooklyn and did their commercials. Because in the commercial, he's like, first of all, he does the funniest voice on that one.
Yes.
He's like,
Yes.
hey, wow, oyster time at the Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Live jazz by me.
He's putting on his ads man voice.
It's so good.
Really good.
But then the very last clip where he does all the characters, I don't know.
So good.
I mean, I don't even remember him doing all those voices when I was a kid. It's like, Paul, you should have pulled out all the tricks.
I know. I just feel like your dad lived such a robust and life. I feel like you could be uncovering mysteries about your dad for the rest of your life.
Oh
You know
my
what I
God.
mean?
I think that's accurate. So we're talking about ads, and we're taking inspo from Paul West, and then that combined with the Jardiance segment last week, we were like, God, we barely, we love Jardiance. Jardiance is number one. We've barely scratched the surface though of commercials that have changed us.
That's right. And we heard from some people too about some of their favorite jingles also, and I was really happy to be reminded of a few myself.
Yeah.
So we thought we would do a segment about the greatest songs ever written.
Yep.
I'd like to reiterate that we're not getting paid for this.
No.
It's a free advertising for everyone involved. I don't even know if half these products still exist.
Yeah. If any of these companies still exist, feel free to send us money or
Yeah,
free stuff.
I'll take it.
We'll take it.
I'll
for
take
sure. But no, this is purely out of love.
Yeah. Also, I guess I should say not all of these are songs, but spiritually, they are the songs of our hearts. And many of these are very deep in the friendship lore. So it's fun for that reason too.
Yeah.
Would you like to commence with your favorite song?
So yes, this is such a good one. Okay. So backstory in my house, Aham and Roya have been watching all of The Sopranos all the way through. And I don't know, I think that neither of them had watched much of it before. I'm not sure. But I have watched at least the first 3 seasons like a billion times because I had them on VHS.
Yeah, your parents got them on VHS from Costco and we watched them together. Yes.
Yeah. But we only had the first 3 seasons. So those, I just kept being like, oh, have you gotten to, in Czech Republic too, we love pork. Have you had our sausages? So I was sort of coming in and out, of the Sopranos rewatch, and I would watch some episodes and then I would go play video games or whatever. And then eventually they get to there's a part, and this is past this was back in the territory where I had maybe only seen it once. So I didn't have super strong memories of this, but so Robert Loggia shows up. They release some old heads from prison and they come back and they cause all kinds of trouble. And Robert Loggia is one of them, and he's like a real hothead, and he's like beating up, gardeners and just being a real dick, like just an unhinged, chaotic dickhead. And so we're watching it, and Ham and Roy are both so stressed about Robert Loggia. What's he going to do next? Oh, God. He's causing a lot of problems for Polly Walnuts. And
My king.
I know. And then I was like, I said, Robert Loggia. and then they kind of both looked at me like, are you okay?
Are you
I
having
think I said it again.
an
And they were like,
episode?
what's happening to you? And then I was like, oh my God.
You don't know?
Do I get to show you my favorite commercial of all time? And they were like, we don't know what you're talking about. And then I got to put it on the TV and show it to them.
It's so good. It's a Minute Maid orange juice commercial.
Then let's just drop the audio in.
Yeah.
Try some new Minute Maid orange tangerine. It's got calcium.
Then I'm not drinking it.
Oh, no, it's sweet. You'll like it.
I don't believe you.
Well, then who would you believe?
I don't know, Robert Loggia. Whoa, Robert Loggia.
Billy, your mother's right. New Minute Maid orange tangerine tastes great. And it's got as much calcium as milk.
If you say so, Mr. Loggia.
Yeah.
This is great.
Enjoy your breakfast.
New Minute Maid orange tangerine with calcium.
Yeah.
Who would you listen to? I don't know, Robert Loggia.
The kid is a star.
I know,
The
he's
kid
so
is a star.
good.
I don't know, Robert Loggia. Oh my
Do you
God. If
and-
you're the kid,
Will you call us?
please.
In my headcanon, it's this. They didn't originally plan on casting Robert Loggia. I feel like that kid actually loves Robert Loggia.
he manifested him.
He improv'd that line.
He summoned
then,
him.
Yeah, and then the Minute Maid people were like, call Robert Loggia!
My God. Like, when a child actor just has a moment, like,
Mm.
I feel like,
Are you
Not-
going to say...
yeah.
some-
I guarantee you were thinking of the same thing, and you say it.
some beer and some frozen peas?
Mom and Dad said I just stay home and watch cartoons all day.
Did they give you any lunch?
They gave me some beer and some frozen peas.
They gave me some beer and some frozen peas.
Some beer and some frozen peas.
Not a sketch that holds up. That we're talking. They were
No.
referencing a Mr. Show
Nope.
sketch, but
Nope.
the line read from that kid.
That kid freaking nailed it.
Yeah. So anyway,
He
I
was
don't know
wearing
what
a
happened.
pot as a hat.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to these children, and honestly, I'm glad they escaped the Hollywood machine.
know.
But thank you for these moments.
Robert Loggia? Anyway, Robert Loggia.
And then
Thank
I
you
love
for that.
there's like a subtext that like maybe Robert Loggia's gonna fuck the kid's mom.
Yeah.
Like they give each other a look, or like
Yeah,
she looks over at her husband like, who's this piece of shit? I'm leaving with
I
Robert
know.
Loggia.
Well, and then Robert Loggia's like, yeah. It's like, oh, he wants her.
I know.
Carnally.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
I love that.
So that's,
commercial.
I think, maybe one of my top favorites. It's hard to pick because we got some other bangers coming up.
We do have some other bangers.
Megan, you do one.
Mine is actually from a Text Me Back a Light who dropped it in the Discord actually, and it's one of those ones for me where like the lyrics all came flooding back. It's like, do I remember my own nephew's birthday? No, dude. Do I remember every single lyric from this big red chewing gum commercial from 1987? Absolutely. And the jingle bangs so hard.
Yeah.
I really think it's right up there with Jardiance,
Yeah.
actually. I know it's a hot take, but that's
No,
what I think.
I agree, and I feel the same way. And again, put it on Spotify, which
Please.
I don't agree with and should be banned. But
Don't.
for now,
However,
while it's there,
give
can
it to me.
please, can we put Jardiance and Big Red?
Give it to me, please.
I need it on my playlist.
Okay, listen to this banger.
Freshens breath longer than Big Red.
So kiss a little longer, stay close a little longer, hold tight a little longer, longer with Big Red. That Big Red freshness lasts right through it. Your fresh breath goes on and on. While you chew it, say goodbye a little longer, make
So good.
It's so good. I love at the end. I love the high note at the end. Give your breath long-lasting freshness. Freaking shreds, dude.
You know, there was this like sort of almost erotic way that people in the 80s and 90s would put a stick of gum in their mouth, where they put their tongue out kind of, and then they like they bend it in. You know, they like you watch it curve into the mouth.
Yeah, it was very like snake-like almost.
Yeah.
It was like, ow.
Yeah. I can see it. I mean, like,
it's so weird. But I just feel like you don't get a kick-ass jingle like that.
No,
So
you
that's why I
don't.
love it.
You don't. And also cinnamon gum, underrated. I love a cinnamon gum.
I know. I agree. It is good.
Okay, next, this is something that I feel like we must have bonded over this in our early days.
Yes.
This is a absolute classic, possibly the greatest of all time, the best to ever do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a little guy by the name of Ironhead, who loves his thingy.
I'm Ironhead Hayward. I'm used to challenges, and I challenge you to try Zest deodorant body wash. Now, I hear you snickering. But Ironhead, aren't body washes for ladies? Listen, chump, Zest doesn't have heavy moisturizers. But Ironhead, what's with this thingy? That lather builder works with Zest body wash to give you twice the fresh-smelling lather of this bar, and it rinses cleaner, so you're cleaner, refreshed, period.
Zest body wash. Get cleaner and refreshed.
Get zestfully clean.
I feel like this was one of the first things we really bonded over.
Yeah.
Because it's perfection. Everything about it is perfect. It disrupts what we know about masculinity.
Oh, yeah,
You
it's
know?
woke as hell. Yeah.
Is a body wash for ladies?
Ironhead isn't body wash for ladies.
But truly the game-changing line is, but Ironhead, what's with this thingy? And Ironhead proved that men can use those thingies.
Yeah.
They lather better. So
According to Ironhead.
According to Ironhead.
And if, by the way, if you haven't seen the commercial, he's holding up like a,
like a loofah.
A loofah thing, but not like a natural loofah, like this, the lacy wiggly balls.
Yeah, the ones that don't biodegrade and are full of erosions.
And like become moldy and toxic after one use. I don't use one personally. I use a washcloth like a frickin' civilized person.
My recollection of the Zest commercial was, I just feel like we just happened to both. I feel like there was one day we both said, "What's with that thingy?" in unison, and we were like, "Hello."
Sometimes I try to track the evolution of my sense of humor, and I think like, "Oh, well, I love the Muppets and whatever," but I feel like Ironhead, "What's with that thingy?" is like the moment that I understood, like, I don't know, irony, but not exactly, because I have it's sincerely very funny. So I don't know if it's irony, but it's like there's something about it that I feel like is me. I'm Ironhead. What's with that thingy?
Yes. I never had even heard of Ironhead before. And then I was like, who is it? I love him. That's my father. That's my brother. And by the way, I'm sorry to say it, may he rest in power.
Oh no, Ironhead. I hope in heaven you're swimming in a sea of thingies, and no one says a cross word about it.
Latherous thingies.
I feel like that was like when body wash was being invented. You know what I mean?
Like, I do love that they had to be like, men, it's okay to wash your ass. Here's how you do it.
It's okay to scrub your ass with a powder puff. Not a powder
Otherwise,
puff.
it stink, sir.
I know we gotta end the segment at some point, but I got so many more. I want to say honorable mention, and this is more recent, and this is something that I learned about directly from you, and then it changed my life forever, to the point where it had a resurgence in the last couple of years of people rediscovering it, and I was enraged. No, it doesn't belong to you, Gen Alpha. It belongs to elder millennials like me and Megs, especially Megs. Megs discovered this. She told me about it, and that is the little lad who loves berries and cream.
You tried these new berries and cream Starburst?
Pardon me. What kind of Starburst did you just say?
Berries.
Berries? Berries and what else?
And cream.
Oh! Berries and cream, berries and cream. I'm a little lad who loves berries and cream. Berries and cream, berries and cream. I'm a little lad who loves berries and cream.
I guess I feel the same. I mean, on the one hand, it's like, I don't want to gatekeep the little lad. Everyone should know about him. You know, it was a cultural reset for us all, the little lad and the berries and cream. The dance is really sensational. The dance was amazing. His bob was bobbing. The costume was sensational. And I think I came across it because we were obsessed with Freaks and Geeks, which was only on for one season. And there was like one weekend where what was then called Fox Family and then became ABC Family. And now I think it's called Freeform or something like that. Was doing like an all weekend long like marathon of Freaks and Geeks. And that was like the only way you could see shows.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember I taped
that exist. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I recorded them all that weekend from Fox Family, and that they showed that commercial like 85 fucking times per episode. And I was like, I am obsessed with this. Whatever this is, I love it. I was like, who let them make this commercial? It's so weird. I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
And then, of course, like the Gen Alpha kids who basically have this style of speaking that is completely inscrutable would love the berries and cream guy because it's just nonsense.
Yeah.
It's just nonsense.
It's so good. And I'm glad, I think he got some accolades and
he did
some work, and that's great.
I think he's a trained dancer or something, and I think he got a little cashola from the resurgence of the little lad. So good for him.
He's great. It's great. It's good stuff. It was like really on the vanguard edge of when commercials became random. Can I say one more?
Yes.
Because this is a thing that is in my head at all times. And I just want to acknowledge it. I just want to name the problem. So I watch a lot of Forensic Files, especially when I'm traveling. I have to have it on in the hotel. And luckily there's a channel called HLN that plays Forensic Files and nothing but Forensic Files 24/7, except for sometimes on like a Sunday, they'll be like, now it's some our one other fucking thing. And you're like, what do you think I come here for? But for most of the time, it's Forensic Files. And there is a commercial that at least, I don't know about anymore, but it used to play at least once every commercial break. And it went like this. So George Foreman comes out, the boxer George Foreman, and he goes, people ask me all the time, George, what do I do with my idea for a new product? And I say, call my friends at Invent Help. So George! People ask me all the time, George! So that's the part that I say it. I mean, it's not on Oh No Larry levels, but like it's getting there. I say it a lot. Like
She's been infected, folks.
I wrote it in my new book. And then I had to make a footnote explaining what the fuck I was saying.
Your editor was like, no.
Because I was talking about like a difficult time in my life, and I was like, life never stops calling up its friend George Foreman and saying, George, what do I do with my idea for a new way to make life miserable or something, something like that. And then I had to be like, Lindy, okay.
Don't nobody know what that is.
But here's the thing. Here's a question that I ask myself. There's no way that's true. First of all, I think the connection is supposedly that George Foreman loves inventing because he created one grill.
A grill, yeah.
But first of all, did he invent it? Or
did he just
license? I don't know.
Okay.
There's no way that he's friends with the people that work at Invent Help.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I don't call my friends at Invent Help. I don't believe you. What does Invent Help do? They help you with your idea for a new product. What?
I guess, yeah.
I've never heard one person say, look at my new product that I made with the help of George Foreman's friends at Invent Help. And last of all, if I was going to ask George Foreman a question all the time, people ask me all the time, George, that would not be the question. My question would be, why did you have 5 sons and name all of them George Foreman?
Named the daughters that too. The daughters are also named like various female versions of the name George. I mean, that's crazy, bro.
It's one of the greatest things that anyone's ever done. And the idea that I would ask him instead for advice on what to do with my idea for a new product and not get the inside scoop on this incredible artistic choice. Sorry, I don't buy it. I'm
George, that's crazy.
George! People ask me all the time, George!
Why'd you do that to your kids? And those are the greatest songs ever written.
Yep. That's the full playlist of the greatest songs ever written.
Smash
by the way,
that like and subscribe button.
By the way, if you want to see a little bit of Paul West's national ad work, go on the video website, YouTube, and search Bartles and James Wine Cooler Frank and Ed.
Yeah, we forgot to mention that your dad wrote the ads for Bartles and James with those two sensational old guys.
Yep,
definitely
those two rest in power, Frank and Ed. If you, my perhaps his most high profile work was a series of commercials in the 80s where there's two guys, they're old, and one of them talks and one of them doesn't talk, and they sell wine coolers.
As many of you know, the Bartles and James Premium Wine Cooler is not only perfect as a refreshment, but with meals as well. Ed says it even goes with these big donuts they like to eat here. I personally would not have thought Bartles and James and donuts would go together, much less donuts and fish. But I've tried it myself, and once again, Ed is right. So please continue to enjoy Bartles and James with all kinds of food. And we thank you once more for your support.
And that's,
comeback, by the way,
why I'm the heir to the Bartles and James Wine Cooler fortune.
Success.
We did
Another long ass podcast.
Meagan, they like it when it's long.
They do.
They're all
That's
saying
what they say. Everyone's saying it, and they're saying it more and more.
Look, Meagan, I'm picking your nose.
If you want to see what we're doing, you'll have to watch the YouTube video. Another successful episode.
Yeah, I think that one was really good and cute. We caught up on our lives and times. We talked about Lindy's father and my legacy as an ad heiress. And we talked about Megan's ice cream. And we talked about Gretch. And we talked about something else that Megan did that I forgot.
So Tour de France,
The Tour de France. And we took our own Tour de France through life's greatest hits. And I'm gonna make a playlist if I can. I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to do that.
And you know what? We're gonna do the same thing again next week. So make sure you tune in.
Yeah,
but in the meantime, you should subscribe to our patreon.com/textmebackpod, and then you can get all kinds of special bonus goodies while you wait for next week's episode to come out.
Yeah. And we have so many different tiers depending on how much you like us, depending on how much you feel like you have to give. And we really appreciate every single dollar of support. It means so much to us that people like us, and really, and we love doing this podcast. And thank you all for keeping us on the air. You're a bunch of sweeties.
The air.
Yeah, we're going out on the airwaves.
We're broadcasting it. Wireless.
So
LYLAS, your home for rock and roll and 40-year-old weirdos.
It's oyster time here at the Chance Back Podcast. So tune in next week and slurp some oysters.
Traffic on the ones.
And live jazz every Thursday by us, Lindy and Meagan.
You don't want to miss it.
Nope.
Next week we're going to have oysters and live jazz. See you there.
Peace.